Hey everybody. All right, hold on. Here we go. Hey everybody, welcome to TPIM. It's our live. I'm your host, TruePowerIsMine. I have Brother Bay on the line. And brother, you still there? Oh, all right. Hopefully, I'm hoping that this is the right deal, so I should be able to test it. Yeah, it's relevant. All right, man. But we were talking about some real shit, y'all. It's totally unscripted, totally unfiltered. I had the pleasure of the other day of hollering at a gentleman from overseas, a confidential informant that will remain anonymous, and the source country will also be anonymous as well. But the brother reminded me of just how ununified the United States truly is. We got a lot of people around here talking about patriotism this, patriotism that. But when we look at, like what Brother Bay was saying, BET had the other day, black men up there in full drag as women, masculinity out the window. They converted to total effemininity to get economic viability. And in other words, they would rather blow a man and be a woman to another man, typically a non-melanated man, but another man, to try to get food on their table instead of saying, look, we need to work together. We need to get with decent non-melanated people who understand economic viability, have everyone push the reparation issue so that people can be empowered. Because without financial assets, there's no way that you can be empowered. Now, Brother Bay, would you say that was a correct statement?
I think that's very correct. That's balance, and reality is a return to balance. So we're trying to get to reality, and we got to get in a balanced position as a people because we're in a liability.
Right,
We were put in that on purpose.
right.
So in order to fix that, you got to reset that situation. You got to admit you've been had, and you
Hmm.
got to reset your personal life
Reset. Now you're basically
and
talking about a little
create
self
what I
repair.
call. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Get into the program of recognizing that, look, this is what we got to have, and nobody's going to give it to us. So basically, we know we can bring it from ourselves if we would just balance ourselves with each other.
Hold on,
You know,
Brother Bay. Let
we're
me
not
call. I'm
talking
gonna call
about,
you
well, if
back.
you talk to a brother, we're talking about reality.
I'm gonna call you back on your phone. Can I call you back on your phone, your cell phone, real
Yes,
quick?
of course.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna call you
Yes.
back. Just stay on the line. And this was because I don't. This messenger is really crazy.
You're put the straw in the west, man.
Hey, this is like a live show, but it's not live, but it's being taped live. Um, you know,
Right.
when
But
what
this
you
is a better connection. This is
yes,
a better connection.
a way
Yes.
stronger connection. See, what you were
Yes.
saying resonated, especially about the self repair aspect. Now, when we have a group of people who the men have been written off in mass media, the men has been written off on the family front, the men has been written off as young warriors coming up with no mentors. All right. And the
Correct.
reason why I want to say this is because right now, when we look at what's going on in the world, we have nations assassinating military leaders, and typically the common cause. Look now, Gaddafi was murdered, not melanated, or no, he was melanated a little bit. This Iranian guy was murdered, melanated a little bit. But the thing that they had in common for real were they were both non-nuclear nations. Now, when's the last time you saw, any nuclear capable nation have military interactions negatively with some of the world's superpowers? Look at
Mm.
India. Look at Pakistan. Look at North Korea. That's the only thing keeping these so-called supernations from invading and basically oppressing and turning their nations into sexual hubs for the superpowers perverts. Because let's face the
Mm.
real facts. Taiwan, Malay, is a sexual den. South Korea, a sexual den. Any place where you have non-melanated or melanated people in poverty, you're going to find two things there: a church mission
Correct.
and sexual tourists, because they're going to come down there to screw the boys, they screwing the girls, they screwing everybody. So you better watch out. And the only thing that seems to keep that away from a people is when a people is united and the people have a nuclear deterrent behind them. In other words, they actually have the capacity. Once you show up with your goons, they can wipe your goons out. And it's like the people who engage in these type of activities, engage in these invasions, they don't want none of that. Now they'll go all the way to the other side of the planet so that they can fuck up some people that just have some guns and tanks and maybe a couple of jets. Quite literally, a couple of jets. But they ain't coming after nobody that can get with them. Why is this, brother? Why do you think that is?
Well, I mean, I was just like you were saying. I was just reading an article the other day on the kids in Africa, how these Europeans are coming in getting these little kids, man, walking around with 5 and 6 and 7-year-old kids, old, white men. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And this is like you say, you become you're so valuable, man. You like for the prey, for the person to pray. That's like no consequences. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, they can just come do what they want, the way they want, when they want, who they want, and it's nothing they got to worry about. Once they just read these people's palms or the right person,
right.
Get them a little bit of, and then hey, this is. But in America, this is what it's really discussing. Black Lives Matter and companies like Radio One, which supposed to be black, publications or whatever business, they're selling us out. At such a rapid rate, man. It's crazy. This right here is embarrassing. And I saw they even mixed this homosexuality. The guy said, I'm a gay Christian man. Look at that. And I mean, the whole room broke up and clapping and applauding. Then right after that, they brought a gospel. It's on right now. They brought on the gospel singing. They singing and dancing and celebrating.
But doesn't that go hand in hand with what I just said? What did I say? You find in all these sexual bastions of melanated nations, poor melanated nations. You find a church, there's your Christianity, and then you find sexual tourists. Those are the people who stand up and applaud. Yeah, oh yeah. And then guess what? After they brutalize the young people, the women, and the children, and the men, guess what? They can go and pray to their imaginary deity and go on about their business without any type of consequence. So, like you said, quite literally, without even emotional ramifications, with pure impunity, right. They can do these evil, wicked things to people.
Right, and be celebrated.
Yes, patted on the back. Hey, brother, when can I go with you? I want to go with you and do some missionary position. It's disgusting. And we sit here and we act like, oh, we don't know. We don't realize these doctors are going overseas. They kill you back here. This is how the game goes down. The doctor will kill you over here with their bullshit procedures. No, you need to do a stress test. You pay for that. Yeah. And that same doctor will take that money that you gave him and go to a melanated nation that's poor and fuck the children there. It happens all the time. So when you participate in the economy, you participate in the goods and services, I want you to know, those of you with conscience who might not know what's going on, now you know. Your money that you feed into the system through your labors, through your desires, through what you're willing to do to get those ends to pay for whatever. The people who are running the show are taking your money and they're going and abusing men and women and children on the other side of the planet with it.
Did you ever see, and I think I sent this article to you, but did you see the article just recently where they said China's trying to bring 300 million people into Africa?
They're trying to do how many?
300 million people. That's their plan, to bring 300 million Chinese people into Africa.
Right. They want to colonize it. They want to turn, in other words, they want to be melanated people with slanted eyes.
Well, the thing is, the article was, the video was showing you that these people are coming in building airports, hospitals, police stations. They don't plan to go. You see, that's like me moving to your house. You wake up in the morning, I'm in your bedroom, setting up a kitchen or something. Your bedroom. You know what I'm saying?
In charge of
they don't plan to go back. But then when you see black people go over there, like these so-called athletes, I'm going to show you the game. Like last month, you saw all that someone going to Ghana and getting the citizenship, all the babes and all the rappers, all of that. Right. They go over there and they want to get citizenship. And they want the common tenant. They don't want the regular niggas coming over like me and you. They want rich people come over there and get them notoriety.
Right.
So they can build around in the commercial. They made all kinds of money on that advertising and bragging about that. But these people that are coming to this country, man, they are bringing long. They're gonna be here. You see what I'm saying? Right. They're not planning to do it. They're gonna come. They're gonna run the African out of Africa.
Right.
That's their plan.
That's the whole plan.
On tap.
See, the European wanted to do that, but he just didn't have enough people. He was too busy killing himself right. and raping other parts of it. But the Chinese have enough people, and they got enough tech, and they can focus and zero in on Kemet and finish what the other dude started. All right.
But guess what? I was just in here looking at this with my wife. That coronavirus thing is getting serious. It's getting serious, bro.
Well, I warned people.
In the U.S. already. Mm-hmm. In Chicago, I saw they had 2 cases. They got one in Washington, but they was saying this thing was set up on a load. It could get out. It could kill 65 million people.
Well, here's the real kicker, though, brother. If the virus don't kill you, if the virus does not kill you, the vaccine they're going to whip up here in the next couple of months certainly will. This is the whole gag. The Georgia Guidestones are for real. When I get on the show and I tell people and I try to educate people about space, about geopolitical situations, spiritual fortitude, all this is for a reason. It's full circle, full conversion, so that when the shit hits the fan, and I'm telling you right now, ass cheeks are being spread and fecal materials coming down and the fan blade's moving. The shit is about to hit the fan. And when it does, the realities that people are going to have to face when the thin veneer of civilization is totally removed and you see the ugliness of the true nature of the human condition, of those who actually have the power, those who actually have the resources, because a lot of you brothers and sisters out here don't even have tents. So if your house is destroyed, where the fuck are you going to post up at? Most of you don't even know how to make a lean-to. Most of you don't know how to run through the woods. What the fuck? You're just going to be sitting there waiting and praying that a female personnel will come and get you and exterminate you quickly. That will be your best out. The worst case scenario is you'll sit up in there and starve. Or sit up there and get infected and just peace out like that. Your best case scenario is someone from female come along and just put you down. That's your best case. Because shit is about ready to hit the fan. The third temple will be built. The Zionist prophecies.
You sound like you're explaining the regular show on TV, like The Walking Dead or some shit like that.
I know, but it's not gonna really be, I guess, hitting home until people see bodies in the streets, and then they'll be like, "Holy shit, True Power is fucking right." Perhaps I should have fucking made friends with people over the seas, maybe a fucking 10 years ago or so that when shit happens, I can get the fuck up out of here. It's called retrograding, or for the layman, it's called retreating a negative environment. You have to get out of this zone, man, because for real, here's the reality, kiddos. Certain things that are started, they will only end the way they're started. If something was started in hate and bigotry and misogyny, the way it's going to end is hate, bigotry, and misogyny. What direction is the nation going? What direction is the political spirit of the nation leaning to? Is it leaning to a nation with diversity and inclusion? Or is it leading to a nation with xenophobia and we got to hold on to what we used to have?
What do you think is going to happen with this impeachment thing?
Nothing. He will not be impeached. And if the virus thing gets too bad, we won't have an election. And he would.
Yeah, I was just listening. They were spending hours like next.
Yeah, well, he's going to end up being a dictator by default. You know what? Listen, we are already in a state of emergency in the United States. We're already in a state of emergency. Okay, let people start dropping like flies. It's over, dude. It's over. The Constitution will be suspended, and everyone bows down to the federal centralized government. We're already halfway there. We're already halfway there. People are already scared to speak their minds. Freedom of speech is out the window, right? You already know that you really don't own the land or your home, right? Quit paying the taxes, or eminent domain, or underneath emergency powers, the government can seize your property, including your body. Right. All right? So you got to understand that we as people, we as people, we have to realize that there is a group of people, there's a cabal of people that is that basically already has this plan in motion. And once again, I refer back to the Georgia Guidestones. The Georgia Guidestones lets you know. It's not like this is a state secret, Brother Bay. It's not like this is a state secret. They've let us know through white papers released by the UN, Agenda 21, Rex 84, United States plans to basically subdue and keep the people in their place. You gotta understand, this is not like brand new. They already have trains. They already have uh, train depots, right? That they rehash, they refurbish with brand new ovens. Well, isn't that fucking handy? So when we have all these people dying of whatever cause, whether it be lead poisoning or bacteria or viral poisoning, we already have ways to put three bodies in plastic containers and throw containers or just raw bodies into these furnaces. Now, who else had plans with trains and furnaces? And maybe a population that they did not desire. In the United States, what population of all the ethnic groups? Let's use the transgender. Let's use the homosexual. Let's use the Hispanic, Latinas. Let's use the Asians. Let's use the European and the African. Out of all those populations I just said, who is the most despised in the United States of America? Who is the most likely to be exterminated, eradicated, removed, or liberated from life itself? Which group, I ask you, sir?
Africans.
Exactly. And then when we look at the play,
I mean, you on the bottom of the boat. Like I ask people all the time, if the boat is sinking and water come in the boat, where's it gonna go to first?
it goes to the bottom and works its way up.
So no matter what happens in this country, for political or whatever, you always gonna get the total impact because you at the bottom.
That is, see, that's sobering. That's such a sobering concept for most people. They're gonna be like, "No, Brother Bay, no, Brother True. You two are lying. You two are inaccurate. There's always equality, diversity, inclusion." But that is a total and utter illusion to reality, to known trajectory of human behavior. We look, if we was to jump in a time capsule right now and look at this point going all the way back to the creation of this nation, you're going to see time and time again harm, oppression, even enslavement on a particular class or group or appearance of humanity. In other words, like we always say on the show, melanation is your crime. That's it.
Your skin is your sin.
That is
correct.
That's it. You can be a great person like Brother Bay. You can be an intelligent person like Judge Joe Brown. You can be, even a war hero, like General Peter Gravitz. But you're not going, when it comes down, you're not going to get any quarter for any of that. And if anything, they're going to look at you like a traitor. Well, you betrayed your own, so why are we going to deal with you? That's because we allowed indecent, non-melanated folks to run this country too long. See, there's decent, non-melanated folks. I mean, seriously, they're straight up decent. But see, they get overrun by the undecent of their yoke. And then when it really boils down to it, it comes to a matter, well, if the black folks all link up, then you know what, I have to link up with my people because these people won't love me either. You know what I'm saying? So then this by default has to link up. That's when they can get talking about, I know nothing. I'm just following orders. They can be decent as a mug. But in this reality, when it busts down like this, you're either going to have to go with one group or another. And that's what...
What's ironic about what you're saying is that you're sounding just like, what did they call Germany? The Weimar?
No, the Weimar Republic. The Weimar Republic before the Chancellor becomes the basically supreme leader, and the Chancellor was Adolf Hitler, took over power, and he becomes the supreme leader. And then the army no longer gives their loyalty to the Weimar Republic. They give their loyalty directly to the supreme leader. That'd be just like Trump, suspending the Constitution, and the army, instead of giving its loyalty to the United States Constitution, It gives us loyalty directly to the commander in chief. See, that's what people don't understand.
You think we're in that situation exactly at this moment, sir?
Not exactly. There's a little nuance because, see, there is a third entity. And I really will almost say this is the first entity, but it's really the third entity for the uninitiated. There is the space, there's the outside entity. Now, a lot of people are coming to a realization, hopefully, and hopefully more sooner, that we are not alone in the universe. It's just a reality. We are not alone. And even though they got us oppressed, thinking of silly shit, we are not alone. And I would almost argue that a lot of the anger and hatred and evilness that people have learned was not indicative of the human experience, but yet came from people who gave them knowledge. In other words, the person that found them in whatever state they were in brushed them off and said, look, you're better than these people. Here's a sword. Go in there and you can take their land. They'll just make a sword, learn how to smelt that metal, sharpen it up on a whetstone, then they'll put a little handle on it and go over there and take care of business. And like, shit, yeah, let's listen to this entity more. And it just grows from there. That's why.
Let me ask you a question, because I was listening to a guy yesterday talk. Have you ever heard of Young Pearl? You know who that is?
No, the name don't sound too familiar.
Okay. I'll send you one of his videos. Very sharp young brother, man. He was talking about, he was doing a breakdown on, I don't know, but he asked a very interesting question. He said, man, look, if everybody in this universe was melanated in the beginning, that's the assumption that everywhere you go is black folks or people of color, whatever. Let's just use the word melanated. Okay?
Right.
He said, how now can you account for all these other people that are not melanated? Mm-hmm. Where did they come from?
Well,
now, the way he was pointing to is just like we've been told. I know you probably heard, I've heard this many times, the theory, what is it called, Yaku?
Yeah, the evil scientist.
It's basically the grafting and stuff that they can do, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And if you start looking at stuff, it starts to really make sense, man, because you know that they were doing this in the past, in the higher civilizations. Yes. Well, I can see that was all there.
There's nothing new. The nuclear bomb is not new. Genetic manipulation is not new. Now it's new to us because that just lets you know how far or how oppressed psychologically, spiritually, and just on all levels we really are. And when I say that we are a prison on a prison planet, only a prisoner would be this ignorant to the realities of true history because we've been separated. All right? So now we have to, once again, and I love this term, and I know it's from Dr. Nellie Fuller Jr., but we have to do some self-repair. I mean, it comes from him. He may not say that, but it comes from him because we have to get to this point where we understand we're not just on a road of this arbitrary ends. This road will conclude millions and millions of years of genetic manipulation, genetic basically coming together through love, making a man and woman. I said it the other day on the show. Brother Bay, the flesh that you are in right now was here before any country was ever conceived. The flesh that you are in right now was here before anybody sailed across the seas. The flesh that you are in endured war, famine, disease, and genocide. And you're not here because of all this bullshit. You're here in spite of the bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. You're a survivor, basically. That's
exactly.
What you're saying. Right.
And we have to keep with this survival spirit. If not, the wolves, the beast at our heels, will surely catch up to us. We're running a race. I'm saying we've been running a race, but we're starting to get tired, y'all. You know how we're getting tired? Because our character has been so bastardized that even some of our own people want to quite literally divorce from the group, as if that's even possible. But they want to divorce or seem that they're separate in some way. And I'm telling you, folks who believe that, you're engaging in utter self-delusion, and you're flirting with total annihilation. It's only working together, hand in hand, decent folks of the world in general, but in particular, the melanated men and women of the world, because there is a plan that we are the restraining force. We're the one thing that is keeping the real enemy from totally conquering this whole planet. And they had to do it
Working, man.
sneakily. They have to do it sneakily because there is other entities out there that if they detect their activities, it won't appear to be a natural evolution in space and time. It would be manipulated, and then they will be crushed. See, a lot of you people who are
Oh,
spiritual, you kind of understand, but your energy is being sent to a brick wall instead of to the actual entities that can take care of the first people that put us in this situation. The reason why the whole race was fractionized into different subgroups was through genetic manipulation. And we can look at it, we're doing the same thing today. Over in China right now, they basically use a genetic technique called CRISPR. It's used to design basically babies or embryos that will come to term in a womb. All right. Now, if we can do that in 2015, believe it or not, they could have done it 10,000 years ago. They could have done it 100,000 years ago because the only thing missing is the knowledge of how to put together certain elements to produce this effect. See, technology is not really a linear thing. It doesn't begin with the wind. No, it begins with some entity that sees the potential in another entity and it educates or mentors or instructs that being to basically bring forth these machines, these gadgets, these tools. Because everything basically boils down to there's tools and there's users and then there's managers. The managers manage the user and the users manage the tools to produce what the manager wants produced or built. Now, right now, we're building a prison planet. All your labors, all your time, I don't care if you're a McDonald's worker, I don't care if you work at Boeing. All your energy is going towards cybernetics, which is basically mechanized control over human behavior. Robotic control over human behavior, that's what cybernetics really is. So all this facial recognition, all these robots and all these droids are not going to be used for your benefit at the end of the day. It's going to be used as your enslavement tools. And the user won't be you, it will be the manager now. This is how you enslave the users. You allow them to build the tools and the infrastructure for their own prison confinement. And this is what you're going to have. And this is why they want it down to 500 million, because it's just quite frankly easier to control the 7 billion assholes. And that's why I say, and I've always said, if you refuse to unite with humanity, you refuse to, in one solid voice, fight back the enemy of all of us, then you know what we absolutely deserve, and by nature and universal law, you will get what you got coming. And that's total annihilation. In layman's term, true genocide.
man. I mean, put that on the program, that's a heavyweight, man. 'Cause you're right. The uninitiated, they're going to be like freaked out, you know?
And rightfully so. And rightfully so. You should be. When somebody comes up and they articulate something that you can't refute, I mean, brother, can you tell me where I'm wrong? If I'm wrong, please, brother Bay, tell me. Tell the people, where am I wrong with what I said? Was I
No,
truthful?
I think what you're saying is correct information. In
So,
in the overview, the direction, and where we are, and based on the mile marker that you can look at in your own life,
right.
you're absolutely correct.
Now, with that being true, if you were truly uninitiated, now at this point you have no more excuse. At this point, now I mean, I'm not talking about yesterday. I'm not talking about the day before that. I'm not talking about when you was up in your mama's arms suckling from her breast. I'm not talking about none of that. But now I am talking about what you're gonna do tomorrow, bro. What you gonna do tomorrow,
You know, I,
sister?
I saw something. I saw something that really affected me the other day about life. It said, if you want a happy life, you got to do two things. You got two choices. Here it is, man. You can keep going the way you're going, or you got to change something.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in that moment right there, that's where that immediate power I'm talking to you about. You have the ability to immediately and effectively improve your life.
Yes.
But you don't have to do it, not somebody else. You know what I mean?
Right. There's no leadership.
Right.
There's no leader except for you on this matter. You are the leader and you are the ally. You are the asset to humanity when you lead yourself. If you're just being led by some charismatic asshole, who knows where his or her true motive lies, then you're just a liability. You're just another fucking Heaven Gates cult waiting to happen. You're just another drink the Rite Aid waiting to happen. You're just another tragedy to reinforce the overall power structure. Because whenever you go out the power structures, program, and you start doing something crazy, and that craziness ends up in dead people, it reinforces all the uninitiated to, oh shit, we better conform. I don't want to die like that. We better conform. That's why those things are allowed to exist. See, all this stuff, you think you're fighting the system, but unless you truly understand what the system is, you're doing exactly what the system wants you to do. It wants a part of you guys to rebel and be counterculture so that when your utter failure, when your utter poverty is revealed to the rusty uninitiated, that'll just be reinforcing, nope, I'm going to Harvard and Yale or Stanford, buddy. I'm going to go here and get my degree, and I'm going to find me a nice little corporation that's working on group cybernetic control, and I'm going to plug myself into that. And that's where we're at. And the beautiful thing.
It's just like I said, man, you got the three levels here out of any problem. You got your understanding. Now the world, the average person better get into their inner state. You know what I mean? That's when you get to balance yourself and know the difference between value and worth, and know which one you're trying to achieve in your individual life. You know what I'm saying? And that takes you to an overstanding, which is the strategy part of trying to survive all the stuff that's going to come to you. Like we said, if the water rushes in the boat, it's always going to go to the bottom of the boat first. And that's where the cargo is, right?
That is exactly
right. Cargo on this so-called ship, when it starts busting loose, you're going to be washed out. No matter what happens at the top, you ain't going to be there to see it. They got rowboats. They got life jackets. We don't have anything. No. And that ain't by accident. That's by design. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That is, and this is the whole purpose of the whole conversation today, is to show you that none of this is by happen chance. If you're sitting there looking at a plate of beans and a can of green beans, that is not by happenstance. That is absolutely the system's plan for you. Now, if you want to change that, then ultimately, no bullshit, you have to change the system. You have to change the system's expectation of your potentiality. Without that, without a total reboot of the system, maybe even destroying the system, starting all over, there will be no change for you, and the ultimate plan that the system has for you will conclude in session. Because the system's not off game. The system's absolutely on game. That's why we have people being tortured right now. That's why you have people sitting in a little cubicle right now, zeroing in on some poor cell. Boom, that person's dead right now. We have to understand. If we don't, they're beyond code. Not only they're on code, but they design what the letters for the code looks like. They design what the book format the code's gonna go in. It's beyond just a code. I mean, just getting up the code is like basic. But when you get past the code, when you see that there ain't shit that's in the book, when it comes to power, you don't need to go to no book. You need to go into yourself and bring out that energy and inspire others to do your bidding. That's the power. And they ain't gonna ever tell you that in any book. All right.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Well,
I can see what you're saying, though, man, because, ignorance is power for them. You know what I mean?
Ignorance is a prerequisite.
For them because you get the momentum. You know what I'm saying? Once I got you going, like I told you about first mention, direction is for the you have to ask what direction they're going.
Right. But then let's trip out game though. You're a young, impressionable young boy, right? Your father's trying to get you to conform to the system. Brother Bay, I want you, to go to college, and I want you to go and work at, this telecommunication company, right? Which will be basically, empowering the system. But you hear a little rap song, and it wants to empower you to go on and be a pimp. So you, instead of following your father to conform to what society will help society make that prison planet a reality, you go thinking that you're fighting the system being a pimp, and all you're doing when you come to your tragic conclusion dead in the gutter somewhere with a knife in your back, you're going to reinforce the other non-initiated to do what? conform to the system. You cannot beat the system playing these physical games. You got to ascend to the higher level. You actually have to be in touch with the source. Because if you cannot achieve this, then your ignorance will never be. If you cannot achieve communion with the source, then your ignorance will be permanent, because you will have no way to access or ascertain the knowledge, the intellect you need to overcome. Because the people who are putting this oppression on you, they're in commune with higher frequency entities. That's where they're getting the knowledge from.
We're talking AM versus FM. You can't get an FM signal with an AM radio.
There you go.
You're right. There you go. That's the whole problem. But frequency, are you transmitting and receiving on? Who's influencing you?
Exactly. If you're always on that slave transmission, you're always on that slave broadcast, guess what? You're only going to get slave information, and you're only going to get slaves output from input. We got to break this chain. We have to break it. If not, if we don't want to break it, if I'm fucked up, if I'm wrong, you know what? Just tell me in the bottom line or down there in the comments somewhere. Just say, you're wrong, True. I enjoy being a slave. Being a slave has been damn good to me. I have a family. I have a status. Other slaves look up to me. Write that to me, because, maybe I'm getting the shit all wrong, Brother Bay. Maybe, I'm the asshole. Maybe I should keep my mouth shut and everyone can be happy in their slavery and in their imprisonment.
Oh, see what you got to do, because everything is called effect,
right?
So when you look at your life, you look at the results of your life, and that's if you need to admit it, and that's the time when you set yourself. But if you don't, like they say, you keep doing it, you change something.
Right.
Most people they're gonna keep that simple. That's like being in the Y right there. That is the most real system in the world, because you ain't got but two choices. You can't batch it between and get people up in. Do one or the other, and that the situation that you discussed, you in one of those situations. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's up to you to assess that. Like I said, that kind of stuff ain't working. You got to realize that you recognize, okay, this ain't working. I got it something. What is my plan? You know what I mean?
Right.
And then when you do the strategy, then you start to execute the strategy. You know what I mean? You try to solve problems without creating new. Well, it's just like with the cigarette thing. Yeah, it was a problem. You had to keep that, or you had to solve that problem.
Right.
Or we're going to solve it for you in the long run. You know what I mean?
Right. It wouldn't be a long of a run. It'd be pretty short. I mean, from my point of view, you know what I'm saying? It'd be pretty short. And the sad thing about it, as I'm going out, I'm empowering the system, giving them money for this poison that's killing me. Giving the government money through taxes for this poison that's killing me. Looking like a damn fool while thinking I'm doing something. Thinking I'm alleviating my stress.
They're looking at you thinking, well, that's okay. My daddy smoked. No, ain't no wrong with smoke. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, Daddy don't smoke now.
Like, exactly. But see, we got to be able to stand by our work as parents, as people, as as citizens of the world. You got to stand by your work, man. And most people, they can't do that.
Because what slave can really honestly be proud of? I was the best strong hand on the plantation, boss. I made massive so much money. I'm so doggone proud. That just sounds crazy. You can't be proud of your shit if you're a fucking slave or a prisoner. I don't care how hard you work. Because you're basically just working and empowering this very mechanism that has his thumb on your fucking neck.
Well, it goes back to what Fuller said. You need economic time and energy.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're using your time and your energy, and you're not the one that benefits first, you're not the true benefactor, and you're wasting your life in.
There it is.
At the end, you don't have nothing to show for nothing but the person that you work for. Beverly Hills, riding around the world, years up in Harvard, and the NFL is doing. Did you see the NFL right now? I'm sure you can't. Just a thing coming. They're gonna have a tribute to what they got about it.
Uh-huh.
They thing to me, they're going to do a program with him, celebrating his life and going against police brutality. This is the NFL now. And guess who's in the middle of it?
Who?
Rock Nation. Who is Rock Nation, sir? Beyonce and Jay-Z, sir.
Yeah.
So they're all, rerunning these pieces on the Super Bowl. And so the uninitiated people, like you said, they're going to see this, oh, man, the NFL, do you understand their history? What did they just go through last year? They go through, think of non-white people, man.
Mm.
So, as this time go on in the media thing, there's so much trash in the water going through. We remember this time they get caught up in this buying the jerseys, going to this thing, and LA Live, and doing everything they can because they don't get in their own country. If you're somebody saying, who is your fan?
Exactly.
How can I be somebody else's fan? You see what I'm saying? Could not go about somebody else winning. Well, who's not go about winning? It can't be me because that's like I asked you when I first met you. If I'm on his side, who's my side during the time I'm on their side?
Nobody.
The fundamental things that have to be asked by the individual. You see what I'm saying? Just ask for the answer. Because this is what's going to create balance, right?
And that's what we're in desperate need of.
You're already in balance. You already have liability to yourself if you can't answer that question honestly. You see what I'm saying? And most people can't practice. I ask them, what is your assignment in life? You know how many people can't answer that question?
Well, because.
Yeah, like I asked them, they ask like I asked them, do they have HIV? Yeah, I mean, they really take it personal, man. They get mad. And why you ask me something like that?
Because you're making them inadvertently, you're making them recognize, are they a slave, are they a free man, or are they a straw boss, or are they a master on the plantation? And most people are going to unfortunately come in as slave, at best, property of the plantation, because their actions are so far removed from what they personally want to do. Most people don't want to do the little jobs that they're forced to do. And I say they're forced to do because most people, the prospect of homelessness is not an option. All right?
No, it's not.
So, therefore, you are being forced.
Right. But, we as a people, we have been dumbed down and we have to admit we've been had so we can reset the game and get it to the repair. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's the whole point.
The first thing you got to repair is like I got with the most important view in the world, Patrick, is how you view you. Right. So when somebody else gives you a view of yourself, you're already done.
Yep. And they know it, and they will never respect you for it. You can acquiesce to whatever you think that they want you to be, but they will never respect you for it because they already know, well, if you betray yourself, then you will obviously betray me, if given the power to betray me. That's what I'm saying. Most people don't realize most people are not as dumb as...
It goes back to the clinical understanding of what quality is. Quality is a balance, and inequality is a sequence, right?
Right.
I mean, just like when you were riding in the car. If the car had an accident because some point the car hit some kind of liability, some kind of imbalance, and it makes the car go off,
off the way.
And that's the same thing with our lives. You got to get up and act stuff when you wake up in the morning. What problem do I need to solve? What in myself? It ain't got nothing to do with Trump. It ain't got to do with don't turn the news on, don't put music on, don't go talk to nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Strike a balance in your own life with yourself.
That's the best way to do it.
Before you even step out into the battle. That's battlefield. You know what I mean? And on the battlefield, you only got two things: soldiers and collateral damage.
Correct.
And you need the one or other at every point. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's up to you. Recognize when shit ain't working. I'm sorry, I shouldn't cuss, but when stuff ain't working. And if you sit up and say, oh, no, it's working, then you gonna keep going. Rather than change something.
Or not.
Everybody in this system that comes into a listen to this. Everybody that comes into this system, it is a system of white knowing. Racial white supremacy is not okay? Confusion, toxicity, all that set up to begin with. When you get here and you got a black mind and white nothing, you are making an adjustment somewhere. Or you just gonna be lost at sea. Like most people are. You see what I'm saying?
By design.
They just go to the job, they go get in debt, they go kind of make that compensation, the law compensation says that you compensate for your inability to other people and other things. That is the number one rule of the universe. Take an example. You walk in a room, you cut on a light. You're compensating for the dog.
Right.
This is how simple this is. But people don't even have a clue of what I'm talking about. When I say, what is the first law of the universe? I don't know. Get some pussy, go to the club. Take a selfie. You have no clue. And what the fuck are you even looking at? You're not going beneath the surface in your own life. That's more in the universe that you in. You feel me? And of course, that makes you a liability.
A liability.
You got the ability to lie to yourself and act like it's the truth. And everybody's in that situation when they're here and editing this. Now, at some point, you're going to have to reset that.
Yes.
And if you don't reset that, then guess what? You don't have to. I'm saying, if you want to win, you have to reset it. If you don't want to win, just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, and you get all the help going that way. Loserville, total exclusive ride. They'll give you all the help you need. And trust me.
It's all in it. It's in you, but it's good. But I can only do when I was young. What's in you gonna fall out off you. What's in you gonna come out you. What's on you gonna fall off. You know what I mean? So when this stress comes, you either gonna dig and redesign yourself, or you gonna fall apart.
Exactly. Well, this has been awesome, brother. I'm going to end it here because we're up on the hour mark. I want to thank you, Brother Bay, for being on the show, being brave enough to, speak your minds.
This was a show.
Yeah, I'm recording it, and I'm going to put it and make a video of it, and it's going to the thing.
Oh, I didn't know that. Let me do that. I have to look at it. I don't know what I said.
Everything you said was right on. It was 100. There was nothing. No state secrets given. You know what I mean? This is going to help some brother or sister out there that needs to hear this message, because they ain't going to get this message from the people they fooling with. They're just not. They're not going to get this type of info. So once again, we do this thing not for, hey, look how cool we are. We're doing this thing for other people to get a sense or a good start on their personal self-repair.
That's correct.
And I want to say thank you for participating with me on this, because I can't do this alone.
Roger, I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, man. I'll holler at you later.
Hey,
yeah.
Time, get yourself together, man. Don't rush back.
Well, yeah. But I do have a purpose. Yes, sir. All right, brother.
Okay, man. We'll talk again
later. Yes, everybody. Well, thank you for joining me. This has been TPIM SR Live. Today's date is January the 26th, 2020, the year of our Lord. As always, live your life of integrity without hate, envy, or greed. As always, brothers and sisters, please, 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 let's try to be kinder to one another. Peace and power, unity and victory, dignity and respect, liberation. I'm out.